So can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right, so today I just wanted to go over some quick tips for program successes with Listing Concierge. What we've noticed is giving you guys a bit of guidance on a few little tips can help in the long run with all of your orders. Now, keep in mind that Jessica and myself are always here and available if you need any help with anything. And we're also copied on a lot of the Listing Concierge orders, so we can kind of troubleshoot if you need be, but always just pick up the phone, call us, come in, whatever's easier for you, okay? So
Alrighty.
tip number 12, they're busy bees. So as you know, the listing concierge coordinators, they aren't always available to pick up the phone. They work on time block schedules, but honestly, if you reach out, they will connect with you. As I just said, if you need any help with any of the orders, you can always stop in either to me or to Jessica, and we'll help you along the way. But if they don't answer, just remember they are coordinators for several people, and they're not just always easily accessible, but they are working on your orders. So just loop us in, okay? Remember, tip number 11, there's always help, as I said, here locally, but there's also a main phone number for listing concierge on everything from placing an order to who your listing concierge coordinator is. They're available Monday through Friday, either phone call, email, and most importantly, there's also a chat. So if you need something, you can also chat with them Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. And worst case scenario, you can shoot an email out to them to Listing Concierge. Is actually on the screen, Listing Concierge at thestudiorealestate.com. So remember, point being, there's always someone to support you along the way with your order. Worst case scenario, come in and sit with us and we'll guide you through the process until you feel comfortable to do any of them on your own. I think it's the best way to move forward, okay? So everyone should know that there is an email flyer component that's sent out through the Listing Concierge orders. However, you need to load your contacts into Prospect Square. So your sphere, it needs to be preloaded prior to the order basically being approved. Otherwise, the email, the e-blast, doesn't have anywhere to go. So what I would say, if you're working in a particular neighborhood or you have your database of past clients in Sphere, make sure that you're loading that into Prospect Square. Super easy platform. You just need a CSV. We also have an app that you can use directly from your phone to export that CSV and load them in there. So if you need support, again, as always, I recommend come on in, we'll help you. But there's tons of different e-flyers that can go out to your customers, your Sphere. We just got to preload it in advance. And tip number 9, they are, the LC team is sitting at a red light until they receive photos, okay? There's nothing really they can do regarding the marketing until the photos are loaded there. Remember, everything, whether print or digital, is photo driven. So without photo, they're kind of at a standstill. What I would say is make sure that your marketing copy is in there under property descriptions, and you can access that from the listing dashboard. Okay. Once that copy comes into your listing concierge coordinator, they always do review it. Now, they don't write it for you. They don't know the property. They've never been in the property, but they do review it for spelling, grammar, punctuation, and any legalities according to the local marketing legal rules. If needed, your copy may be changed as minimally as possible. So I do suggest that when your photos are loaded and you've already preloaded your copy, just give it once over look. That's why there's a whole proofing phase, so that so that you can make sure that everything is exactly how you need it, okay? In case they do make a change, you're well aware and you're taking a look. Tip number 7, understanding turnaround times. Now, this order timeline is actually on CB Desk in case you need it. But once you actually place the order, okay, there's usually this overview that tells you what to expect next. The clock for completing your order does not start until the photos and copies are received. So you place an order today, but the photos aren't, say, for another 3 days, 4 days, or however long it takes to get that scheduled between you and the photographer, that clock doesn't start ticking until those photos are in. So just please keep that in mind. There's been a little bit of disconnect on whether that timeline starts from the day the order is received. It's when the photos come in that clock starts ticking. Tip number 6, notifications are your secret sauce, okay? Get familiar looking at the recent activity. This is where the listing concierge coordinators communicate with you on what's happening when you're in the platform. If you take a look at the screenshot, and I know it's a little tiny, but right under order management is the recent activity, and you'll see everything that's happening in your order, okay? Including proofs when they're released and when you need to go in there and they're waiting on you to approve the marketing items. So we are also monitoring that at a branch level. So if we see that there's a lag and we haven't heard from you, our agents, on proofing or looking at something, we are able to now actually reach out to you and say, please go in and update your proof or review your proof, okay?
Very cool.
So this is a new feature. We heard you guys loud and clear. Tell us what photos you like best, and that's how the listing concierge coordinator will be able to actually load your print and digital assets. So there is little hearts if you take a look, kind of like anything else in our digital world where you can click on things you like. It's the same thing. You would click on the heart to indicate which 10 to 12 photos you would like to have the team use on all the materials. If you don't like the favorites, if you don't like the photos, then don't select it. But once you click on them, that's what indicates to the team which photos you want to use, and that's what they create the proofs on. You can edit it later, but it's just going to cause a lag time because every time you make a change on things like that, they have to go back in and modify and edit. So this is a great new little feature. There was a lot of concerns about the order selection of the photos, so pick the ones you like the most, and that will indicate what they want. Okay, once those proofs are ready, so action step 4, you'll receive an auto notification within Listing Concierge and also an email from your coordinator that your stuff is ready to get reviewed and approved. Be very careful, just making sure you're going through everything and giving it a quick look over. I do recommend that you don't do that part from a phone and actually do it from a computer so that you can see in real life what those pieces are going to look like, and at that point request any changes. And as you are aware, there's still things that you can modify. We put the power of the photocopy and design edits in your hand, so you can actually make a lot of edits and proofs by adjusting copy or photos if you don't like the way it looks. When you're working within Listing Concierge, you will see on the far right side of the screen as it's updating your proof. Many times an agent will hit reject thinking they have to wait for the Listing Concierge coordinator to make the change, when in reality they can do it themselves and save time and go straight to the point. So just a heads up, if you hit reject altogether, that means you've rejected everything and now they have to go back to the drawing board. If you hit edit, you can actually adjust things that maybe you don't like. Maybe you want to slide the photo over, maybe you want to change the text. So I do encourage you guys to get familiar and familiarize yourself with the platform itself. We do give you a lot of power to actually modify as you'd like. And approve means approve. Once you hit approve, that goes straight to Express Docs, okay? There is no lag time, so it's not possible to stop it. I have had a situation where someone said, oh my God, I don't know the postcards when, and I didn't approve them. Somehow, somewhere in the system, they must have hit approve, because approve means approve. Often we get asked, is it really approved? Yeah, it pretty much sends it off immediately. So be very sure before you hit that final approval button. I would suggest that you download your proof and even printing it out so you can see it firsthand. You can print them. The concierge team cannot stop that material from printing once it's been approved, because we are working efficiently to make sure the turnaround times are quick and in your hands and over to consumers, that we just can't stop it. So please, 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 I encourage you to print it off, take a look at it, and make sure it looks good before it goes out. And remember, three objectives of listing concierge, okay? We want to make sure you win the listing. You can prove to the sellers your value, therefore never having to deal with commission conversations. And most importantly, turning one listing into three. As you know, homes are moving very quickly in this market. And it's not all just about marketing that specific property, but also marketing you, the agent, to help you gain more traction. So even if your listings do go quickly, you should still continue approving all of your materials, because essentially it's about getting you other pieces of business and marketing you to the consumers as well. So with that said, as I said, it was a quick session just to give you some 12 tips. Any questions?
Yeah, I had a quick question. This is all great information and everything, but I have like a listing that's only maybe like $80,000. Is it really worth getting any of these packages for a listing that's not too high of a cost?
Absolutely. I mean, even if you are not looking to do more business in that pocket, or just see that it's moving really quickly. Remember, it's about getting you more business. It's not just about that listing, and this is what's going to get you in front of the consumers, because it's brand recognition. They see you over and over and over again, and that's how they remember, hey, Jessica's in real estate. So now, if you don't want to continue within that price point, as of January 6th, we're actually launching a bronze package, which is more digital and online. And again, the goal of it being is that you're getting more business from it, and it's not just marketing this listing, but putting at the end result more money in your pocket.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you telling me that.
Okay. Any
I
other
don't think I have
questions?
any more questions. No. I think
Awesome.
you went through everything very, very detailed.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for attending. I really appreciate it. Bye bye.
Thank you, Irma.